The story starts with Banri Tada, the main character, arriving late to his university's law faculty opening ceremony. Because of this, he misses meeting anyone and has no idea how to get around. While trying to figure things out, he hears some girls walking in the same direction, so he decides to follow them. But he loses track of them in a store, where he spends some time shopping. When the girls leave, Banri ends up outside, still not knowing where to go. That's when he bumps into Mitsui Jisawa, a guy who had also been following the girls but lost them in the store. They quickly become friends and decide to go to the university together. As they walk, Yana shares that he has been at the same school his whole life but had to transfer because of a problem with a friend. Suddenly, a taxi rushes by, and a beautiful girl holding a bouquet of roses steps out. She walks up to Yana, congratulates him on joining the university, and starts hitting him with the flowers. Before she leaves, she tells him she'll always be there for him. Banri, surprised, picks up the roses and starts handing them out to passing girls to calm the situation. Yana, still shocked, helps him. In class, Yana tells Banri that the girl's name is Koko Kava. She is very focused on her future and has already planned everything out. Yana seems very affected by her, and just then, Koko shows up, surprising Yana. She tells him she changed her plans to study with him for the next 4 years. Yana gets scared and runs away, throwing his notes. Banri helps him pick them up, and that's when another classmate, Chernami Oka, shows up and offers to help, becoming his friend. After class, Banri finds himself at a club festival where every group tries to recruit him. Just as he's about to be pulled into the Latin dance club, a senior named Hayashida stops him. She says her club isn't looking for new members but that it's their job to help newcomers. She introduces herself as Rinda, and Banri flirts with her by complimenting her lipstick. Rinda laughs and kisses him on the cheek before leaving. As evening falls, Banri heads home but runs into Koko, who says she's waiting for Yana. Just then, Yana calls Banri to let him know he's still at school. Koko overhears and grabs the phone, telling Yana she's coming to find him before returning the phone to Banri and acting sweet and polite. As she leaves, Banri reflects on a time when he was hit by a motorcycle years ago while waiting for someone. The next day, Banri dreams of standing on a cliff, blindfolded, when someone appears to help him. Suddenly, Koko's image enters his mind, and he wakes up thinking about her. A few days later, Banri notices Koko laughing alone at her phone at the university. He asks her what she's doing, and she shows him childhood photos of her and Yana. She asks if he's seen Yana because he's been avoiding her. As they talk, Banri sees Yana trying to hide behind something. When Koko spots Yana and starts chasing him, Banri tries to distract her. She notices and asks him to find out Yana's schedule, offering to pay him. He refuses and she laughs it off, saying it was just a joke before going to class. Later, Banri overhears people gossiping about Koko's wealthy family, and Rinda is seen watching him from behind. A few days later, at home, Banri gives food to his friend Yana, whose parents aren't sending him money because he transferred to another university to stay away from Koko. Banri feels sorry for Koko because she has no friends and no one talks to her. This leads to a small argument, but Yana understands and invites Banri to a welcome ceremony at the film club. At the event, Yana decides to join the film club, and they find out that Oka is a member. While they're there, Banri hears a lot of noise from the next room. The film club members explain that it's the Club of Demons, and Banri gets curious about them. He approaches the door, and when it opens he faces the girls from the tea club, who are wild and out of control. They drag him into their party, where several men are serving as butlers. Banri refuses to drink with them, but they force another guy to join in. A guy reveals that he doesn't like real girls and only cares about 2D girls, earning him the nickname 2B Boy. The next day, Yana meets Banri on his way to school and tells him that he ended up at 5 different parties the night before, all with the tea club girls. Yana sees Koko looking for him and asks Banri to hide and not tell her where he is. After class, Banri tries to go home but is surrounded by university clubs. Rinda steps in and loudly says that he belongs to her club, the Cultural Research Club. She gets a little sad when she realizes he doesn't remember her name but quickly brushes it off and invites him to hang out. As they talk, Banri notices Koko waiting for Yana, so Rinda sends him to speak with her. Banri sits down next to Koko, and she opens up about feeling invisible at the university. She only knows Yana, but he doesn't even talk to her, and no one else approaches her. Banri suggests they go together to a club event so she can meet new people. Just then, a different girl invites them for coffee at a nearby cafe. The girl talks to them for hours about her club and eventually invites them to a 3-day, 2-night welcome party. She admits that she's not from their university but enjoys chatting with people from other schools. After leaving the cafe, Banri and Koko decide to go together and meet new people at the event. The day of the trip arrives, and Banri shows up first. Koko soon appears and asks if Yana knows about the trip. Banri shows her a message from Yana, and she gets excited, thinking Yana is thinking about her. Then they spot the 2B boy, who is traveling with a group to the same event. Banri introduces Koko to him, and they find out his real name is Takaya Soto, but he will be called Takaya from now on. Soon after, a group of white cars arrives, and the club members ask everyone to fill out forms with their information before getting into the vehicles. As they travel, Banri starts feeling suspicious when the route doesn't match the original plan and they end up at a mansion. Everyone soon realizes they're being held against their will. The group locks their luggage and forces them to attend lectures before taking them to dinner. During the meal, some of the guys complain about the situation, but Banri, worried about Koko, comes up with a plan. He pretends to believe in their cause and tells a story about how he lost most of his memories in an accident. He asks that anyone who doesn't want to stay should be allowed to leave. His story convinces the members, and they let everyone go, including Koko. But just as Banri thinks he saved her, Koko surprises him by saying she wants to stay because she knew he was pretending and didn't want to leave him alone. They go back to the dining hall, and Banri uses the distraction to ask for the key to their luggage. The members give it to him, but the girl who invited them to the party earlier decides to follow them. They start running and eventually reach the room where their luggage is stored. They manage to escape through a window and run far away until they lose sight of the club members. Unfortunately, their phones still don't have a signal to call for help. As they walk, they talk about Yana and what Koko really feels for him. She admits she cares deeply for him but shows a more playful side that she doesn't let him see. After a while, they see some lights in the distance. At first, they're not sure if the lights belong to more club members, but they eventually discover it's Rinda, who has been waiting for them. On the day of the trip, Banri reveals that Rinda came to their rescue and took them to the university's summer house, where her club was hosting a welcome event, just a short distance away. The next day, Banri arrives at university and is greeted warmly by his friends. While they're in the cafeteria, Yana shares that he was so worried about Banri that he even reached out to Koko. After his friends leave, Koko nervously admits to Banri that she always tries to get Janice's attention, even though she can't help herself. They decide to thank Rinda together. When they meet Rinda, she invites them to join her club, but they decide to visit it first. They go to the club room, thank everyone, and are invited to join the activities. After leaving the club, Banri tells Koko that he doesn't know how to dance and plans to join the dance club, but Koko doesn't want to join. She wants to join Janice's club and hopes to change his mind. A few days later, in class, Yana tells Banri that he likes Oka and plans to end things with Koko to pursue a more serious relationship with her. This worries Banri. Over the next few days, Koko stops coming to class and invites Banri to a cafe. At the cafe, the three of them meet, and Koko tries to explain to Yana why they should stay together. She shows him childhood photos and memories, but Yana interrupts, telling her he likes Oka and wants to be with her. This shocks Koko, and she tries to remind him of everything they shared, but Yana says that because of their history, he can't be in a relationship with her. He tells her she's special to him, but he can't fall in love with her. Koko, feeling hated, gets upset and yells at him, crying. Yana leaves, and she stays behind, apologizing to Banri, who waits patiently for her to calm down. Hours later, they have to leave, but Koko says she wants to go. Then a gothic-looking girl named Nana appears and invites her to a rock concert. At the concert, Koko gets wild, even going on stage until Nana throws her off, and she's removed from the venue. Banri takes her home, where he sleeps on the floor while she rests on the bed. During this time, she starts crying, realizing that she was wrong to try to make Yana feel the same way. She admits that she's afraid of rejection, which is why she acted the way she did. Banri understands because he feels the same way. He distanced himself from everyone after losing his memories. He tells her that when his memories return, he might not be the same person anymore. She asks him not to forget her, and he assures her that he won't because he cares about her deeply. She's surprised by his words, but they continue talking. Later, Koko goes home and sends Banri a message, telling him she understands now that he's afraid of being rejected because he also rejects others. The next day, Banri takes a train to his parents' house. When he gets there, he goes to his room and finds his yearbook. As he picks up some photos, he realizes they are pictures of him with Rinda from years ago. This makes him panic, and he runs to the bridge where he had his accident. There, he wonders why he doesn't remember anything and what his connection with Rinda was. He calls Janice, breaking down in tears. Meanwhile, a ghostly version of his past self watches him, explaining that when he had the accident, his soul was separated from his body, and now he can only watch the current version of himself, unable to communicate. Later, on a train ride home, Banri gets a message from Koko asking to talk. He meets her at the cafe, where she tells him that they've just met and that she wants to be good friends. She gives him one of the 2 makeup mirrors they brought when they escaped. Banri accepts her offer of friendship and takes the gift.